My name is Ashley Broussard. I'm with the University of Louisiana at Lafayette. This is for Leadership Communication, Fall 2011, and it's How to Brand an Organization. At the conclusion of this PowerPoint, you should be able to do 5 things. Define branding, identify why branding is important, express how brand equity functions, give example statistics for popular brands, and also be able to brand your own organization. So we'll look at our first section for the slide, and that is the question, what is branding? Notice the large collection of brands at the top of this slide. Are any of them familiar to you? According to Career Builder, an employment brand is the way your organization's prospective applicants, candidates, and employees perceive you as an employer. So consider this. The next time you're looking at a logo, what are you thinking of? Are you considering the quality of the product, the amount the product's going to cost you, or the worth of that product after the cost? So now that we've identified branding, we can specify why it's important for the company. The primary concern is to define the character and dimensions of the environment in which a good or service will have to compete. So what the Journal of Business and Finance Librarianship was saying here is that if you know the character and dimensions of the environment in which your company is run, then you'll be able to express why it's so valuable as a service or as a good to your consumers and also to your staff. Brands are unique. They're seen as valuable by the organization as well as by the consumer, and they're there to promote the loyalty, the consistency, and the character, amongst other things, to the consumer from the company themselves, saying this is us, this is what we consist of, and this is why we're a trustworthy company. A research study conducted in 2011 by Career Builder found that companies who had a strong brand attracted 3.5 times the applicants per posting than companies in the same industry without the strong brand. Also, Employment Branding Institute gave out a study in 2009 that found that nearly half of employees cited the employer's reputation as a major influencer in deciding where to work. So basically, the companies are looking out whenever they're trying to find recruits, whenever they're trying to find new hires. They want to have a strong brand that those applicants can fall back on and understand why they want to be a part of the company, because the brand is so great in itself. The consumers, on the other hand, are going to prefer a workforce that appears skilled, knowledgeable, and motivated. When the services that are provided by the company are very intricate, very detailed, and very skillful, the employee base should reflect the same. Globalization is going to bring new competition for the products, services, and personnel in the workplace. So when the company is looking for those new employees in the area of high business population, again, a brand can help pull in those potential applicants simply because they're going to be familiar with the company and they're going to respect the brand. Also, it's going to be used to counterbalance the demographic issues whenever you're hiring those new employees. Companies need to stand out in this global economy, especially whenever one company can offer a similar product as another company, but at a lower price. So now let's focus on brand equity. We're going to find that there are 3 major categories: the firm level, the product level, and the consumer level. This is important whenever you're creating a brand because you want to see the gross product that's going to come out from it. And these 3 categories are an appropriate measurement to do that. This slide represents the firm level in determining the equity of a brand. So it's going to be measuring the worth of the financial asset as an intangible asset. And the way that's done is by subtracting the tangible and intangible assets from the market capitalization. And the outcome you're going to get is going to be the brand equity. So here's an example. Interbrand is a popular consulting firm for high-performing companies. And they've made a top 20 list here of the top equity brands in the given years. The way the company estimates the brand is by using a calculation of the projected profits. So what they expect that company to earn in the annual time, and then they're going to subtract the present value of those earnings. And then the outcome is going to reflect the stability and the global research effectiveness of that particular brand. The product level of brand equity compares no-name products to an equivalent brand product. So assuming equality among all other measurable circumstances, the price difference is going to be due to the brand. For example, in the prescription drug cost comparison, you'll find that many patients prefer brand name medications over generics. Even in the cases where the two medications are produced at the same warehouse, they're manufactured off the same production line, and the ingredients are exactly the same. The difference between the two is going to be the price between the generic and the price between the brand name, becoming the product level brand equity. So in this example, we have an $82 brand and a $25 generic. The difference between them is $57. So the product level brand equity is $57. The last equity level we're going to look at is going to be the consumer level. Researchers are going to look for associations that the consumer holds to the brand. Recall and recognition tests are going to be used, the free association test and the projective techniques as well. They're going to find tangible and intangible attributes, attitudes, and intentions about the particular brand that the consumer holds dear to themselves. So whenever we find high awareness levels and high association levels, then we're going to find high brand equity. So now that we know how to measure the equity of a brand, let's look at some statistics that will reflect high equity, especially in popular brands. So this first statistics slide shows the sales of particular carbonated sodas in a given year. Notice that the Coca-Cola company is the top producing and top selling soda company. It's also the one with the highest economic output per year fiscally. It's a popular brand, it's seen as reliable, it's been consistent over time, and it's lasted over the years. This statistical representation is probably my favorite. It's a kitchen appliance sale brand relatedness chart. And what we can see is that LG is the top brand when considering kitchen appliances for this particular group. LG is known for higher priced products, but their prices are counterbalanced by exceptional quality and exceptional service. So the brand equity is expressed clearly in this slide. Walmart, which is known for smiling door greeters and friendly associates as well as low prices, makes the top of the annual sales list among these brands. Here's reliability in relation to annual sales for automobiles. Notice Toyota is on top, a popular automobile company known for its performance and for its reliability, both nationally and internationally. This slide is very interesting. This is a list of popular airlines and the loads and millions of passengers that they carried into the year 2010. So what we see is the top brand, American Airlines, coming out above all the rest. However, Southwest Airlines has been running these really great media commercial ads about free bags. And recently, American Airlines has filed for bankruptcy. So, whether Southwest Airlines increase their brand and therefore increase their brand equity and sales affecting American Airlines, it'll be interesting to see next year what this same graph reflects. So now you know what a brand is, you know the impressive statistics that a brand can represent, and you know brand equity and how it can affect your company financially. So here are the steps to branding your organization for success. Step 1. Define company values. Know the mission and value of your company and define it clearly. What does it focus on? What are some of your attributes? You need to target why consumers buy your product. Is it the price? Is it the quality? Is it the appearance? And then finally, explain why the particular company is the best option. Although you need to explain this to the customer, you should never downgrade competition. And we're going to see why that's important on the 26th slide. Step 2. Make employees brand ambassadors. People are the fundamental asset of a corporation, specifically because of their interactions with other people who aren't associated with the company. Their family, their friends, their ex-colleagues, their classmates, etc. Word of mouth is going to be an effective tool, so the company image and brand are going to be spread rapidly in this form of messaging. Employees should be trained to understand the brand fully and they need to believe in the brand they're trying to promote so they can promote it effectively. Nike is known for educating and, in a sense, empowering their employees to become a strong brand ambassador. Step 3. Communicate consistently. The market can prove advantageous to businesses, so all of your resources that are allotted to your particular company should be used. Make your messages easy to understand by all consumers, regardless of race, gender, or education level. Also, select certain points that you want to get across. Don't unload all of your brand facts at one time. Slowly divulge your consumers so they can stay focused and remain interested. And finally, be consistent. Information travels fast, so make sure the information that you're offering is relevant and meaningful to the product that you're trying to promote. Step 4. Create an efficient delivery system. Give the consumers and stakeholders a truthful sense of the company. The brand should be a promise or a commitment to them. If the brand is successful, then those consumers who trust in it are going to make a lifelong commitment to it. This is known as the cradle to the grave concept. And finally, exceed their expectation. The bottom line of a company is a satisfied consumer. And when that happens and the output exceeds the brand, a company can rest assured that the consumer will give back to that company both financially and through new commitments. Step 5. Never downgrade competition. This was referenced to in an earlier slide. Always make your company find a place on top. Appear as the front runner. Take the high road. Don't talk down on competition because it's going to give off a desperate impression of overcompensation. Step 6. Measure performance. It's valuable to the customer if the brand performs well. Is it proving effective against the competitors in the market? Make that brand accountable for itself. Brand equity is also important. We spoke of this in an earlier slide. And a good CEO is going to be aware of their brand's equity, and they're going to be able to track that brand's performance. Which brings us to brand score. Brand score is a great way to facilitate that brand equity and track the brand progression over a period of time. And finally, step 7. Adjust, adjust, and readjust. Companies change, so should the brands. The strategy should be adjusted to fit that company's change over a regular basis. The basic components of the brand should remain consistent, however. So your vision, your identity, and the personality and values of the brand shouldn't change very often because that's the basis for the company and the basis for the company's brand. And finally, be prepared to raise the bar. Companies who are consistently raising the bar and setting higher goals for themselves are going to become champions of their own brand. And that's the end of my presentation. Here's some references, really great sources if you're interested in getting more information on how to brand your organization. But now, hopefully you have a great sense of awareness and can define your brand, identify why it's important, express how the brand equity functions, know some example statistics for popular brands to compare to, and then the 7 easy steps for branding your organization. Again, I'm Ashley Broussard with the University of Louisiana at Lafayette. Thank you so much for joining me.